Let's get this out of the way. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know I'm a huge Patriots fan. But this video is about the harsh reality of the Patriots and Bill Belichick's ability to draft in the early rounds of the NFL draft. Every year as a Patriots fan, I go into the draft thinking, okay, we are in the 20s or 30s, depending on if we won the Super Bowl or not, which you Bills fans wouldn't know of. Let's try to get this player or this position. Then we go in the complete opposite direction. You've seen this recently with some players I'm going to go over today. Basically, I'll be ranting about the bad draft picks we made in the first or second round in the recent years under Bill Belichick. But before I get into today's video, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now, let's get right into the topic. Quick little note before I get into the topic, I started watching football on February 1st, 2015, so not be talking about any players drafted for 2015 draft. But to begin, we have Dominique Easley, defensive tackle from Florida at pick 29. Going into the draft, he was seen as a versatile defensive tackle, could line up outside if needed, and his draft stock fell because of injury concerns. Well, in his 2 seasons with the Patriots, he started 3 out of 22 games, and registered 3 sacks and 25 total tackles. Easley was then cut by the Patriots after only 2 seasons and signed with the Rams, where he would play his last 2 years of football, and in his first season with the Rams, he would have 3.5 sacks. Half a sack more than he did in 2 years for New England. Well, either way, he never saw the field again after the 2018 season. He missed all of 2017 due to his 4th ACL tear in his football career. Yes, 4th. Easley was a bust, no doubt about it. This segment on him is obviously going to be short, because there's not much to talk about. Let's look at some of the players the Patriots could have taken. Let's stick with the defensive line. Go with DeMarcus Lawrence, went 5 picks after Easley to the Cowboys. Look how good he is now. Stephon Tuitt then went 46 to the Steelers, who's been a good piece on that defensive line as of recent years. Yeah, safe to say there are better options out there, Bill. But I guess his 2 ACL tears prior to coming to the NFL was not enough to stray you away. 2015 was another amazing year for the Patriots early in the draft. In the first round, they took defensive tackle Malcolm Brown from Texas, and in the second round, they took safety Jordan Richards from Stanford. I don't know why, but I had high expectations for both these players going into their rookie year and second year, but clearly, I was wrong. Now, to be honest, Malcolm Brown was not terrible for the Patriots, but definitely not worth a first-round pick. In 4 years with New England, he had 8.5 sacks, 247 tackles, and 23 tackles for loss. That's kinda good. He was a pretty solid run defender, with an average PFF grade of 74.75 in run defense. So we had that going for him. That's about it. He was not a great impact player for the Patriots, at least in pass rush. He had about the same level of production on the Saints, who just started every game for them, and is now heading to the Jacksonville Jaguars on a 2-year, $11 million deal. He's definitely a solid player who's a starter on some teams, but the Patriots could have taken someone else. Then there's Jordan Richards, the safety from Stanford, in the second round. He just really was not that good. He was alright in coverage, but that's it. That's basically all I have to say about him. He didn't really play. Honestly, I thought he would have turned out better in the league, but clearly not, because he was then traded to the Falcons in 2019 for a conditional 7th round pick. Yeah, a 2nd round pick was traded for a 7th in their 4th year. Good job, Belichick. Players selected in between the two were Landon Collins, Benardrick McKinney, Eric Kendricks, Ronald Darby, and Frank Clark. So any of them would have been a better pick at 32. But obviously, pre-draft, it would have made no sense except for Collins to be drafted at that time. Overall, terrible first 2 picks in 2015 for Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Oh boy, does the 2016 draft get me even more mad. We did not have a first round pick, which traded the Saints in the 1-year rental of Brandon Cooks, who even got hurt in the Super Bowl that year, so great trade. So at pick 60, we took Alabama star cornerback Cyrus Jones. There actually is nothing to talk about with him. He was just awful at cornerback, but not the worst punt returner, but even saying that, he had a fumbling problem. He was out of New England after 12 total games, missing the entirety of his second season, started only 1 game, which is actually the worst corner I've seen play for the Patriots in my time being a football fan. The funny thing is about him, my friend is a huge Alabama fan. He's like, he's going to be a star, he's going to be wicked good, and look where he is now. There's basically no shot of him ever getting signed to a team again, unless it is strictly for returning punts. Which, he's not even that great at, as he has a fumbling problem like I said, and he was even cut by the Ravens because of his fumbling issues. He's been cut 3 times, one of which was because of a heart problem which he had to get surgery on, so I wish him the best of luck with that. But saying that, he won't be in the league again because of that, and the on-the-field problems. These were the defensive backs taken basically directly after Cyrus: Von Bell, James Bradbury, Kevin Byard, with Justin Simmons being taken later in the 3rd round. Safe to say, we could have had James Bradbury paired up with Stephon Gilmore and JC Jackson. Come on, Bill. Be better. Also, I'm going to disregard the 2017 draft since our first pick was not until pick 83, so Derek Rivers, you do not count. 2018 was weird. The Patriots had 3 picks inside the top 60, and I don't know what to think about them. It started with running back Sony Michel from Georgia, who had a good rookie season, an amazing playoff run, totaling 336 yards and 6 touchdowns in 3 playoff games his rookie year, and road to winning a Super Bowl. He looked to be the running back of the future, then quickly fell off the next season, as he averaged 3.7 yards per carry, 19 less yards in his rookie year, in 3 more games and 6 more starts. His 3rd season, he was also unproductive. While averaging 5.7 yards per carry, only had 1 touchdown and 449 yards in 9 games. He was outplayed by 2nd-year running back Damien Harris. He's also not a threat at all in the passing game, as for his career he has 26 catches in 38 games. I do not think the Patriots will re-sign him this next offseason, but he was not our worst pick at all. He was a major piece in our Super Bowl winning team. He looked explosive in his first season for us, but since then, he just has not looked the same. Yes, some injuries can be a cause of that, but I do not think it's worth the Patriots' time and money to sign a player like Michel to an extension, given the production we have gotten out of him in recent years, his injury problems, and his fall off. Then, just a couple picks later, we selected offensive tackle Isaiah Wynn. Wynn missed all of his rookie season with a torn Achilles and only played in 8 games in 2019, where he was not bad by any means. This past season, he was also limited to only 10 games, but played well in those games. Starting all 18 games he has played in, he looks like someone I at least want to bring back. According to Pro Football Focus, he's the 11th ranked tackle with an overall grade of 82.6, which is honestly surprising me, but good to see, being that this is one of the first picks New England has hit on in the rounds 1 through 2 since 2013 with Jamie Collins. Yes, there's Jimmy G, but we traded him for a 2nd round pick. Jackie's turned into 9 picks, one of which was Damien Harris, who I will not get into with this video since he was picked in the 3rd round. But back to Wynn. Overall, a solid 1st round pick that I am happy with. I don't know about other Patriots fans, but I like the pick looking back on it. Then, there's Duke Dawson, at pick number 56. He was not good at all. He was traded for a 7th round pick to Denver in 2019. He never played for the Patriots. So, I'm going to say the Pats went 1.5 out of 3 for this draft. Honestly, I don't know how to grade Sony Michel to be completely honest, but overall our best draft so far. The 2019 draft was historically bad for the Patriots considering the Nikhil Harry incident. Roll the clip. Nikhil Harry has been, in my opinion, the biggest Patriots bust in recent years, showing the inability Belichick has at drafting skill positions, as through 2 seasons and 21 games, he has a whopping 414 yards and 4 touchdowns. Should be 5, but the ref screwed him at that Chiefs game, which I watched at Gillette. On 45 catches, catching an astounding 55.6% of his passes. Honestly, an all-pro caliber player deserves more recognition for his elite route running, catching, and overall skills in the game. All jokes aside, with all the wide receivers picked after him in this class, I cry every time I watch him play, then watch DK, Terry, AJ Brown, etc. ball out. This is the most disappointing pick in recent Patriots draft history. I was sitting there hoping we picked DK Metcalf, praying to God we did, and we didn't. At all. Just pain. That's all. After my cry I just had during the stoppage of this recording with Nikhil Harry, there is Joejuan Williams. He's not a bad player by any means. He's carved out a role in special teams and sometimes plays on defense. That's not what you're looking for in the 2nd round. So yes, he's a bust, but it's not as bad as it could be, I guess. If he was picked in the 4th round or later, I wouldn't be mad, but there was definitely a better corner we could have taken, like Greedy Williams, who went to the Browns the pick after, who still is not amazing, but has potential. Or just any of the wide receivers taken in the 2nd round and 3rd round. But hey, this draft was not terrible overall, as the Patriots drafted Damien Harris, Chase Winovich, and Jake Bailey later on in the draft, who have all been impact players for the team, unlike Nikhil Harry. And that is the Patriots draft history since 2015. Wow. Yes, there was a 2020 draft, but those players are so young that it's hard to talk about them and have a real opinion. I think Kyle Duggar has potential at safety. Don't know what to say about Josh Uche as he did not play at all in his rookie season, so that's why I left this draft out of the video. Another thing I want to bring up is how difficult it is finding clips for these players, because almost all the people I've talked about are terrible. Just terrible football players, except for a few examples. It just hurts to think about them and even look them up because of the players that could have been selected. I think all Patriots fans are hoping and praying they will not be depressed from this rookie class. We took a quarterback in the first round for the first time since Drew Bledsoe, and I'm scared, but overall excited for this rookie class. Everyone is hoping Mac Jones pans out, but it's all up to him and the coaching staff to determine if he will be a legit NFL quarterback. To be 100% fair, Belichick is amazing at drafting in the later rounds. I just wish he could do better in the first and second round, because those are the guys who need to be an impact from day one. This has been an issue with the team, and hopefully it gets fixed soon, but only God and Bill Belichick can tell if it will be an issue in the coming years. With all that being said, that is it for me, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Fanatic Sports. I hope you all liked the video. If you did, please subscribe and hit the like button. It only takes like 2 seconds, makes me not as upset as I was as making this video. Also, follow me on Instagram @FanaticSports25 and on Twitter @FanaticSports. But before I go, who is the worst player the Patriots have drafted in the first or second round? Comment that player down below.